Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into a pretty fascinating paradox. It's the idea that true freedom, it might actually emerge not from having fewer constraints, but, by deliberately embracing them.
Right.
What if the key to more freedom isn't doing less, but actually leaning into more discipline?
It sounds completely backward, doesn't it?
It really does. But we've gathered some amazing sources to explore this. We're talking everything from ancient Stoic philosophy, modern management thinkers, even some Eastern mindfulness and Western pragmatism.
Yeah, it's a real mix, a rich tapestry, like you said.
Definitely.
And our mission really is to pull out the key insights for you from all these different viewpoints. We want to help you understand how discipline isn't this cage,
Right.
but it's more like a pathway, a route to genuine liberation. And we'll dig into not just what that means, but why it actually matters in your day-to-day life, how you can start using these ideas.
Okay, so where do we start? Because this really gets compelling. Let's begin with a foundational idea from Peter Drucker, the management guru.
Oh, Drucker, yes.
He famously said, "One rarely over prunes." What was he getting at there? Especially thinking about our time. Pruning sounds like less discipline, maybe.
Well, that's the interesting part. Drucker saw that to be really effective, especially working with people or tackling big problems, you need these fairly large chunks of time.
Okay. Not just little bits here and there.
Exactly. He felt managers often kid themselves, thinking a quick 15-minute chat is enough for, say, performance reviews or planning.
I could see that.
But real, meaningful work, deep thinking, dealing with complex human stuff, that needs more than scattered minutes. It needs protected, what he called discretionary time.
Discretionary time.
Right, and people find ways to do it. Some work from home on certain days, maybe. Others batch all their meetings and operational stuff onto specific days. The goal is to leave clear mornings, perhaps, for that focused, deep work.
So the tactic can vary.
Totally. The specific method isn't the main point. It's the approach. Figure out how much discretionary time you actually have, and then guard it fiercely. The action point is really clear. Consolidate your time. Set aside those big blocks for the big tasks.
That makes a lot of sense for, executives or people with more control over their schedules. But what about someone juggling, say, shift work or a parent with young kids where time feels totally fragmented? How does consolidating work then? Is it even possible?
That's a really fair question. And the principle still applies, I think, even if it looks different. It's maybe not about finding an 8-hour block,
Right.
but maybe it's about fiercely protecting even just 30 minutes twice a week for something that requires deep focus. Or that hour of family time with zero distractions, that's still consolidation.
Okay, so it scales down.
Exactly. You're building what some call an architecture of intentional living. You're creating mental space. And that focused effort, it doesn't just make you efficient. It gives you the freedom to think clearly, to connect deeply, instead of just reacting all the time. Scattered attention, scattered results. Focus brings transformation.
Okay, so consolidating time gives us the space. What about building the actual capacity for that focus? That leads us to preparation, right? Another key discipline. Let's look at the Stoics. Epictetus talked about hard winter training. What did he mean by that? It sounds intense.
It is intense. He used this Greek word, shimaskesai. And essentially, he was arguing against doing anything half-heartedly, part-time anything, as the phrase goes.
No half measures.
Right. Hard winter training means using all your available resources, all your time to prepare for life's challenges, way before they actually hit. Think about athletes like LeBron James. He doesn't really take the summer off, does he? He works meticulously on his game.
True.
Or the military. They train constantly, day and night, peacetime or not. So they're ready.
Always prepared.
It's about building that resilience, that skill, through nonstop preparation.
Yeah.
Dedicating everything to being ready.
That reminds me of Andre Agassi, the tennis player.
Oh, yeah.
He said something like, if you don't practice, you don't deserve to win.
Wow. Straightforward.
And Robert Greene, the author, he warns that looking for shortcuts actually makes you unsuited for mastery.
That hits hard. It's like, in a video game.
Yeah.
The character doesn't just walk up to the final boss on level 1.
No way.
They grind, they fight smaller enemies, level up, get the gear. That repetition, that's the training. It builds the capacity.
Okay, but what about when you do all that training, you practice, you prepare, and you still fail? or you don't win. That feels like the opposite of freedom, just
Yeah.
wasted effort.
That's such a crucial point.
Yeah,
Because failure is tough, right?
Yeah.
It stings.
definitely.
But there's this wonderful African proverb, to try and to fail is the opposite of laziness.
Yeah.
It's industrious.
Industrious. I like that.
It completely reframes it, doesn't it? Failure isn't the end. The attempt, the trying itself, that's the brave act. That's part of the winter training. It builds you up for next time.
So the discipline isn't just about the win.
Exactly. It's about the consistent effort, showing up, giving your all, win or lose. That itself is a kind of victory, a kind of freedom from being defined only by outcomes.
And, the Dalai Lama connects this effort to something broader.
How so?
He talks about joyous effort and concentration, but stresses combining it with cooperation and kindness towards others.
Okay.
So your personal discipline, your mastery, isn't just for you. It's potentially about how it benefits everyone. Adds a layer of purpose, maybe.
That's a beautiful thought. Discipline with compassion.
Right. Okay, so we've got consolidating time, rigorous preparation. What about the discipline of not doing things?
Well, restraint. Yes.
President Calvin Coolidge, Silent Cal, famously said, "I have never been hurt by what I have not said." What's the wisdom there, especially today?
Oh, it's huge today. In our world of instant texts, emails, social media reactions.
Constant noise.
Exactly. The ability to just pause, to hold back judgment, to choose silence instead of jumping in. That's become a radical act of discipline. It ties into what someone like Naval Ravikant talks about with his personal mantra. Accept.
Accept what?
Accept what you can't change. The traffic jam, the difficult colleague, something that happened in the past, fighting it is exhausting.
Wastes energy.
Totally. Accepting it isn't giving up. It's a kind of mental liberation. It frees up that energy to focus on what you can influence. Or just to find some peace.
Yeah, I can relate to that. It's like
Yeah.
maybe your kid is driving you crazy and you really want to yell. But you take that breath, you walk away for a second, and later, you're almost always glad you didn't say the harsh thing.
Exactly that feeling. And Mark Twain had that great line, didn't he? Anger is an acid
Oh, yeah.
that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything in which it is poured. Precisely. Holding on to that impulsive reaction, that anger, it corrodes you. Restraint protects you.
So that disciplined restraint, it makes us less reactive.
Much less reactive and more responsive. You're acting from choice, not compulsion. And that is where you find that joyous effort we mentioned. Acting with intention, with calm, even when things are tough, it's reclaiming your inner control, your agency.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. We've talked consolidating time, hard preparation, wise restraint. But the big question is still hanging there. How does all this discipline actually create freedom? It still feels like a paradox. More rules should mean less freedom, shouldn't they?
It does seem that way on the surface, absolutely. But think about what Facundo Cabral said. I am not freedom, but I am he who provokes it.
Provokes freedom.
Yeah. The discipline isn't freedom itself, but it's the thing that makes freedom possible. True freedom isn't just chaos, doing whatever you want whenever. It's having the capacity and the opportunity to make meaningful choices.
Okay, explain that more.
Think back to our examples. The executive who manages their time, they gain the freedom from constant crisis mode, the freedom to focus on strategy.
Right.
The athlete who endures brutal training, they gain the freedom of peak performance, the freedom to execute incredible feats.
Effortless mastery, eventually.
Exactly. And the person who practices acceptance, they find freedom from the mental drain of fighting reality, the freedom to engage with life more peacefully and productively. The structure, the discipline, when it's chosen, creates the conditions for genuine liberation. It expands what you're capable of.
I love the analogy of learning to ride a bike.
Oh, that's a good one.
At first, it's all constraints, right? Focus, balance, effort, falling down. It's hard work.
Totally. Feels restrictive.
But once you get it, that bike becomes pure freedom. You can go anywhere, feel the wind. The initial discipline unlocked the eventual freedom.
That's a perfect illustration.
Yeah.
And Nassim Nicholas Taleb puts another spin on it. He says, heroes are heroes because they are heroic in behavior, not because they won or lost.
So it's the doing, the consistent effort itself.
Precisely. It's the daily choice to show up, to train, to prepare, to practice restraint. That heroic behavior, that discipline, builds an internal freedom.
An internal freedom.
Yeah, a resilience, a sense of capability that isn't dependent on external wins or losses. Circumstances can't really touch that core freedom you've built inside.
Okay, so building this internal freedom, What does that actually look like day to day? We hear these kinds of phrases all the time, like wake up, be kind, be present, be genuine, be generous. Are those the result of all this discipline, or are they part of the practice itself?
That's a great question. I think the insight here is that they become genuinely possible and sustainable because of the groundwork laid by discipline.
How so?
Well, the person who has consolidated their time can actually be present, right? They're not mentally juggling a million other things.
Sure.
The one trained in restraint finds it easier to respond with kindness instead of reacting out of frustration.
Makes sense.
The one who practices acceptance can be genuinely generous because they aren't hoarding their energy, constantly defending against things they can't control. So yes, these qualities emerge from the discipline, but the practice also reinforces them. It's ongoing, like day 245 and counting.
It's not a destination then.
Exactly. The discipline itself kind of becomes the destination. It's the means, the joyful means, hopefully, by which we keep creating the life we want.
So it really hammers home that idea. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up.
Right. It's not about waiting until you feel motivated.
It's a daily revolution, like you said, brick by brick. And it changes how you approach things. Like when someone asks, what's the good word?
Yeah.
If you've done the winter training, if you feel prepared and centered because of your disciplines, you can actually answer with excitement about possibilities instead of just dread or worry.
That's a lovely way to put it. It allows things like live, laugh, love to feel less like a cheesy slogan and more like
something actually achievable.
yes, because you've built the foundation for it. You've created the space for that joy.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it seems really clear. Freedom isn't just handed to us. It's something we have to actively forge. We build it through these deliberate choices. Managing time, preparing, practicing restraint.
It's continuous work, self-mastery, really.
Right.
And like we always emphasize, knowing this stuff is one thing, but applying it is where the value lies. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe pause and ask yourself, which discipline choice could unlock some freedom here? Is it blocking out time? Is it preparing more thoroughly? Is it choosing not to react?
Finding the discipline that serves the situation.
Exactly. Because, and this is the beautiful paradox, the more you practice discipline, the more prepared you are. The more space you actually create to be spontaneous, silly, creative, and truly joyful in your freedom.
So the final thought for everyone listening, what winter training are you willing to embrace today to start provoking your own freedom tomorrow?